horse, we'll switch over to the move tool and we'll simply move the horse over. Amazing. The second thing I want to show you is Adobe Illustrator CS5 and beautiful strokes. I have the brand new variable width tool, and as you can see, I can just go anywhere along my path and vary the width of the stroke. I can do it evenly on both sides or one side versus the other. I can even save those as profiles and apply them to other paths as I go forward. The next thing we'll do is we'll pop over to a different view, and in this view, we're going to go ahead and grab our arrow, and I've got this arrow selected. As you can see, the dashes themselves don't necessarily line up with the corners. However, with one tap of a button, I can save time and have them line up with the corners perfectly. And that's just some of the beauty of Illustrator CS5. So the third thing I'd like to talk to you about is the brand new CS Review. CS Review is one of the CS Live services, and it integrates with Creative Suite 5. I can tap the CS Review panel right from within my applications like Illustrator, Photoshop, and InDesign. Once I bring the panel up, I can actually initiate a review from within those applications and share it online. Once someone makes comments, those comments actually appear right within my documents. So CS Review is just one of the services a part of CS Live. So the fourth thing I'd like to show you is InDesign. I'm actually in my web browser looking at some interactive content that has motion, video, and sound. And what if I were to tell you that all of this Flash content was created inside of InDesign without having to write code? Let's pop over to InDesign and take a look. I'm going to select one of the objects here, go to my new animation panel, and I can choose a preset. These are the same presets from Flash Professional. So I'll bring up my preview panel, and that loads an instance of the Flash player that lets me actually see my animation right within my application and test it without having to leave InDesign. Now we'll pop over to a different spread, and on this spread, I've actually got embedded Flash video. I can select that video, go to the new media panel, and I can actually scrub through that video. I can even choose it as a poster frame. And that is how interactivity inside of InDesign CS5 rocks. So the fifth thing I'd like to show you is an exciting, cool new way to create interactive content. It's actually our new product called Flash Catalyst. I'm going to launch Flash Catalyst here, and one of the things you'll notice right off the bat is that you can create this interactive content from your native layered Photoshop and Illustrator files without having to write code. That's the beauty of it. So rather than take my word for it, let's actually look at what one of our customers has done with Flash Catalyst.
Hi, we're Marquedos Moore, a brand design firm in San Francisco. We work on a variety of different projects ranging from print to packaging to web. We're designers, not coders.
We focused on three main components for this website: a simple navigation system, a really cool interactive map, and a sexy image gallery.
And the great thing is we were able to get our designs from Illustrator into Flash Catalyst with very little difficulty.
Flash Catalyst is really going to allow us the ability to pass along some cost-effective solutions to our clients without having to hire developers.
And it was a fun project.
It was great.
Sadly, I'm out of time. However, I'd love to show you the great new painting features inside of Photoshop and Illustrator, as well as the new productivity features inside of InDesign. You can head over to adobe.com and check out all of the great new CS5 features for designers. Thanks for watching.
As a video editor, or motion graphics designer, or visual effects artist, you need to deliver your content to a growing number of screens, from broadcast television to the silver screen to mobile and web devices. And you'll do this in the context of tighter production schedules and, as always, shrinking budgets. With CS5, you get blazing fast speed and efficiency thanks to an all-new Mercury playback engine. You get 64-bit native processing. You get incredibly streamlined workflows, including the industry's best native tapeless support. You get innovative new rotoscoping and tracking tools, and you get open collaborative production and flexible video distribution. So let's take a look at some of the highlights from the CS5 Production Premium Suite.
Hello, my friends. My name is Jason Levine, and I am a worldwide product evangelist for Adobe, healing people daily with the power of digital video and audio. And there are so many cool things to talk about, but I'm going to tell you about the 5 things you need to know about Production Premium CS5. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the Adobe Mercury Playback and Render Engine. Mercury because it's lightning fast, Mercury because it's fluid, and it will completely change the way you work inside of Premiere Pro, offering you breakthrough performance in your HD production workflow. Now, one of the things, of course, because it was written from the ground up, this, of course, means that Premiere Pro itself is now a native 64-bit application. But what does this mean, 64-bit? We hear this all the time now. It means RAM allocation, RAM usage. All the RAM that you have in your system can now be leveraged to do more, to play back more in your timelines, to render faster than ever before, to share between applications and move files between applications faster and more efficiently than ever before. And if you've got an NVIDIA GPU-accelerated card, we can now leverage GPU-accelerated effects inside of Premiere Pro CS5. Things like Gaussian blur, things like 32-bit fast color corrector, things like the Ultra Keyer can all run. Throw them on your clips. Playback doesn't stop. So whether you're working with Red R3D, AVC Intra 100 megabit, Sony XDCam HD 50, or DPX files, or even DSLR formats from your Nikon or Canon cameras, these can all run together natively in the same timeline. This performance will knock you out! So the second feature I want to tell you about is so big, I'm not even quite sure how to introduce this. I mean, this is truly game-changing. This will truly change the way you work in After Effects forever. And the feature itself is the fact that After Effects is also now a 64-bit native application. Do you remember when you used to work with a 30-second 1080p clip and you could only RAM preview 3 or maybe up to 7 seconds? Well, now, leveraging all that RAM in your system, you can preview that full 30 seconds. You can preview 45 seconds. You can preview 100 seconds. It just matters how much RAM you have in the system. This will change the way you work forever. And don't forget, with all of this RAM, being able to leverage all of this RAM, things like dynamic link speed up as well, right? The ability to take Premiere Pro sequences and drop them inside an After Effects timeline, truly changing the game forever. The third feature I'm going to tell you about today is my absolute favorite feature in Production Premium CS5, and it deals with the process of rotoscoping in After Effects. I could talk a lot about this, but we know that rotoscoping is a really painful, slow process. Frame by frame, lots of drawing masks. Well, you don't have to do that anymore. Allow me to show you and amaze you with the revolutionary roto brush. Now, effectively, if I wanted to roto out this character, I would start creating masks. I can simply take my roto brush tool, and I'm just going to draw a basic outline. You'll notice that it doesn't even have to be terribly accurate. What you're going to see is that right away, this mask looks pretty good. And you'll see that After Effects is automatically going to learn the next frame in the sequence. But this is After Effects CS5. We're 64-bit native. I can hit the space bar, and now you'll see that as this character is moving through the scene, it's rotoscoping it for me. Look, we're even seeing a section where his collar is coming into the frame. It wasn't even there moments ago. But with one simple click of the Refine Matte tool, you see that it's going to fix that matte up beautifully, and now we can treat just this character. So what I was thinking was maybe doing some color balance on this. I can drop it on here, and I can just pump up the saturation a bit. I also added a second layer of some outer glow, because you could never have enough outer glow. And again, I did this in seconds. If you've ever rotoscoped before, you know how long this process takes. It's the revolutionary roto brush in After Effects CS5. So the fourth feature I'm going to talk to you about today is something called our script-to-screen workflow, and this starts in Adobe Story. Now, Adobe Story is where you can actually create and build your script. You can even import scripts from popular script writing applications. Let's take a look. So now that we have our script in Adobe Story, what we can effectively do is take all of that information and leverage it as metadata throughout the entire production process, beginning by exporting this as an Adobe Story script file directly into On Location. Once in On Location, all of those scenes will show up as shot placeholders, and we can take our tapeless cameras and begin shooting directly into those placeholders, which of course house all of that rich metadata. Everything from the actions to the scene names to the headings, it's all there. But it's even better because now we can take those clips, bring it into Premiere Pro CS5, and perform speech analysis. Yes, it's a speech to text. Anywhere where you have spoken words in your clips, we can now transcribe those spoken words, and we can use the Adobe Story script file so that we get accuracy, incredible accuracy, things like the actual names of the characters that are doing the talking. This is amazing, and this will once again allow you to now leverage all of this metadata and rich information directly out to Flash Video so you can create a truly engaging, dynamic experience for your customers online. For my fifth and final feature, I get to talk to you about Photoshop CS5. Now, there are so many incredible features in here, but this one I think really applies to the visual designer, and that's the ability to use natural and realistic painting tools. Well, very simply now, you can take something like the mix